Welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content to do with childhood sexual abuse. On this channel I share things to do with my experience of going through this childhood trauma. I also share news stories and add my thoughts and commentary to them. And from time to time, when I'm fortunate enough, I do interview other survivors and their supporters in hopes of raising awareness of this childhood trauma. So today guys, I'm covering a story that I came across on the BBC News website. It is to do with AI, and the headline says AI puts real child sex victims at risk. This is what experts are saying. So I will leave a link to this story in the description box below. I haven't actually had a chance to look at the story, so I'm just going to read it and see what it says and, just kind of give my thoughts on it. So an increase in sophisticated AI generated images of child abuse could result in police and other agencies chasing fake rather than genuine abuse, a charity has said. The Internet Watch Foundation, based in Histon near Cambridge, finds, flags and removes images and videos of child sexual abuse from the web. However, the ever-increasing use of AI images, a 300% increase in 2024 compared to the previous year, has added another layer of complexity to their work. Dan Hexon, IW Chief Technology Officer, says there was now a risk that law enforcement and other agencies could be trying to rescue children that don't exist, or not trying to rescue children because they think they're AI. About 2 years ago we started seeing this content being circulated, and there were little tells. It looked distinctly different, Mr. Sexton said. But the developments in technology meant that at the time it had become indistinguishable. There will be imagery in there that is so realistic or so similar to the content we see, you cannot tell the difference. What creates a lot of concern is the ability of our people in law enforcement and others, those people who are out there trying to rescue children at risk, knowing whether a child is a real child and needs to be rescued, or they are AI generated and they don't exist. The risk there is we and policing end up trying to rescue children that don't exist, or not trying to rescue children because they think they're AI. He expressed concerns about the ability to safeguard children and the risk that there would be children who won't get safeguarded because they were too busy dealing with synthetic children. The foundation is also looking at the use of AI to detect AI. The scale of the problem and the potential increase in the scale means it's never been more important to have AI tools to help us. Natalia, not her real name, has been an analyst at the Internet Watch Foundation for almost 5 years and said AI is one of her specialist areas. She said it was becoming more and more difficult to tell the difference between an AI and a real child. The content has become so realistic, and the speed at which technology is developing is really alarming. If we think a child is in danger now, we will make a referral to the police, and we really don't want to make a referral about an AI generated child. Natalia illustrated her AI concerns with the story of a victim of child abuse whose images had been circling since 2011. Although her abuser was caught and the child eventually went public with her story, the images have been shared widely. A spokesman for the National Crime Agency said generative AI image creation tools will increase the volume of child sexual abuse material available across the clear web and dark web, creating difficulties with identifying and safeguarding victims due to vastly improved photorealism. However, we are working closely with partners to tackle this threat, and we will continue to invest in technology to assist with child sexual abuse, CSA, investigations to safeguard children. So I will leave a link to the story in the description box below, but I think my first thoughts are that this is very concerning. I don't know if any of you out there have seen how realistic AI can make images and how it can make those images say it and do certain things as well. I think that AI, artificial intelligence, has its benefits. There are lots of benefits to it, but also as well there has been a lot of downsides in general across the whole kind of AI spectrum when it's come to AI in different fields and industries. There are benefits and there are negatives, but I do think that this may be a tool for particularly intelligent, tech-savvy paedophiles to use to try and throw law enforcement and other agencies off their scent. I do agree with the concerns that has been raised in this article, because how really can you tell the difference if it's that realistic between a what they call a AI synthetic child and a real child? I think they do a very difficult job. The Internet Watch Foundation, you know, the National Crime Agency and all the other agencies that do work to try and battle, you know, the big kind of problem with CSA abuse of children. I don't know really what they're going to be able to do to kind of eradicate this type of imagery, AI imagery of children being abused. But obviously one of the things that was said is that they're going to use software that can detect AI images as well. But this is going to be a real problem, because the nature of kind of paedophiles, and especially those in those large kind of networks, you know, the nature of them is that they will try to do anything to, you know, stop themselves being detected. We know that, you know, they can equip themselves very fast with all kinds of technology. Even the other day on TikTok, I saw something where a high-ranking kind of police officer or investigation officer who has to watch all these types of images, you know, to kind of recognize children's faces and people are doing it. He was saying that basically, you know, these people are so ruthless that they would do things like, if you were wanting to watch their imagery of what they were doing, you know, to young people, to children, they would want you to show you doing something to a child first before, you know, allowing you into their space. We're living in a very strange world. You know, it just seems like, you know, there just seems to be just things that are just going on that are just so beyond, you know, anything you can imagine. And for me, the fact that we have something out there now where somebody is actually sitting there and creating images of children being tampered with, being, you know, abused to mimic the real thing is mind-boggling to me. It's disturbing. But, you know, these are the times that we're living in. And yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you, and I shall see you on another video.